You are bluffing. An old man like you does not have the nerve.
This is your absolute last warning. Step away from her right now.
That thing is fake. You are bluffing. An old man like you does not have the nerve. This is your absolute last warning. Release her and step away right now. I never imagined the day I would raise a firearm again would be in a quiet green field to protect my teenage granddaughter. She was screaming between two grown men who had absolutely no right to touch her. They had her by the arms and were dragging her backward, toward an SUV like she was a criminal. She was crying and yelling that she had not done anything wrong. The two men holding her were wearing dark vests with HOA Cops stitched across the chest. They had fake authority but real hands on my family. That was when I stepped into view. Comment below which country you are watching from today. Let us see how far this story travels. To understand how the fake HOA cops thought they could kidnap my granddaughter, you need the backstory. My land sat just outside their HOA boundary. I had lived quietly on that property for decades, long before their ridiculous association existed. HOA President Karen Blake hated anything she could not control. She hated that I did not attend meetings or pay dues to exist beside her neatly boxed community. She tried to rope my land into her jurisdiction multiple times but failed. The complaints started when my 17-year-old granddaughter began visiting me more often. There was never a single incident of trouble, but Karen suddenly issued fake violations for unauthorized presence and loitering. I responded in writing and politely reminded them they had no authority over me or my family. Karen escalated the situation and hired fake HOA enforcement men to intimidate us. Now those same men were gripping my granddaughter's arms. One of them told her she was being detained for an HOA violation and ordered her to stop resisting. I raised my voice for the first time and demanded they let go of her. They turned toward me slowly and told me to step back because this did not concern me. My granddaughter looked at me with wide, terrified eyes and cried out for me. Something in my chest went completely cold and steady. These men thought they were untouchable, and they had no idea how wrong they were. I took one slow step forward and told them to let her go. They laughed arrogantly. One of them leaned closer to my granddaughter's ear and squeezed her arm. He pervertedly told her she was staying with them for a week in HOA containment to teach her how to behave. My stomach turned with absolute disgust. I told them she is a minor and what they were doing was illegal kidnapping. The other fake cop snorted and mocked me. I reached inside my jacket and drew my pistol. I brought it up level and steady exactly where they could see it. I gave them one last warning to release her and step away. The perverted one smiled and arrogantly claimed my gun was fake and that I was bluffing. He squeezed her arm again and said she would be fine with them. The world immediately narrowed. I fired twice. 2 controlled shots center mass. The sound cracked across the open field. His grip vanished instantly as his body jerked backward and collapsed onto the grass. My granddaughter screamed as she stumbled free and scrambled away. The second fake HOA cop froze in absolute shock. He looked at his partner on the ground and then at my steady pistol. He turned and sprinted for the SUV, fumbling for the door. I fired once. He went down hard, crashing into the side of the vehicle and clutching his leg while screaming in real pain. I kept the pistol trained on them and ordered my granddaughter to get behind me. She gripped the back of my jacket, shaking violently. I lowered the pistol slowly and placed it on the ground far away from them. Sirens were already blaring in the distance. The police deputies arrived fast with multiple units and weapons drawn. I was already on my knees with my hands visible. I calmly told them I was the one who fired in self-defense because they were unlawfully detaining a minor. They cuffed me for standard procedure. An officer rushed to the wounded men while paramedics followed close behind. An officer asked me how I managed to fire twice with my granddaughter standing right between them without hitting her. I looked up and told him I served 40 years in the military and was trained to put rounds exactly where they needed to go. The moment they saw my military identification, everything shifted. The cuffs came off a minute later. Witnesses stepped forward and the body cams and dashboard cameras confirmed everything. The men had no authority, and the girl was terrified. The perverted fake cop did not survive the flight to the hospital. The second one survived with a shattered leg and permanent damage. Charges came fast for kidnapping, an aggravated assault on a minor, and impersonating law enforcement. Investigators found emails and payment records proving Karen Blake explicitly ordered the fake cops to teach my granddaughter a lesson. Karen was arrested 3 days later in handcuffs while her neighbors watched in shock. Karen Blake was sentenced to 12 years in state prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. She was ordered to pay $400,000 in fines and massive restitution. The HOA was hit with multiple civil judgments totaling over $1 million, forcing it into total bankruptcy and permanent dissolution. My granddaughter feels safe again and smiles when she visits me. They thought authority came from a cheap vest and a lie. But I would choose my granddaughter over every single rule in the world every single time. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments if you think I did the right thing by protecting my family.